Hello everyone, as you can see, I'm in a new location. I am visiting my parents at the beach for Labor Day weekend, and it is so nice. September at the beach is the best time ever. I'm actually vlogging this weekend too, so you can look forward to that. We came here a day late because of some tropical storms that didn't end up being that bad. The weather is amazing. So anyway, I wanted to get to my TBR for this month before it's too late. I've got a lot of great books planned and some awesome buddy reads planned, so let's get right into it. First off, we've got The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. You guys know from my Monday Middles post that it's taken me a while to get to this, but I'm really excited. I am buddy reading this with Susie, who's a book blogger over at 1,000 Lives and Thoughts, and I will leave her link down below. I met Susie because of this channel and Twitter, and she's a great bookish friend of mine already. I'm really looking forward to buddy reading this with her. So The Shadow of the Wind takes place in Barcelona in 1945 during the aftermath of the Spanish Civil War. And our main character, Daniel, is an antiquarian book dealer's son who is introduced by his father to the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, which is kind of a secret library. He's instructed to pick one book and guard it with his life, so he picks up The Shadow of the Wind. So Daniel tries to learn more about the author and his other works, and he realizes mysteriously that the rest of his books have been destroyed one by one, and he can't find much about the author. So this is kind of a fantasy-esque gothic mystery, and I can already tell I'm gonna fall in love with the writing. Like, the writing is spectacular already, and I just feel like it's every book lover's dream book. The next book I'm going to read in September is Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. I've heard a lot of booktubers who were pleasantly surprised by this book, and it's very short, as you can see, so I'm really excited about squeezing this one in. All I know is that it's a magical book about a boarding school called Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children. Basically, children who have stumbled into magical worlds and have returned from their, epic adventures have to deal and cope with their everyday lives after their adventures. They're sent to basically a reform school because their parents just don't understand what they've been through, and a lot of them think that they are suffering some sort of mental illness. All I've really heard about this one is that it's a simple murder mystery plot line and that the characters are really fantastic, so I'm super excited to get into this. The next book I'm reading in the month of September is I See You by Claire McIntosh. I'm going to be group reading this with Katie from Life Between Words, Julie from A Girl in a Book, Jess from Catch a Single Thought, and Jordyn from J Bookish. I've really enjoyed getting to know these ladies. We're all in different time zones pretty much, so it's kind of challenging, but it's really, really fun, and I'm looking forward to hearing their thoughts on this book because I love all of their YouTube channels. I'll link them down below. Definitely go subscribe to their channels if you haven't already. So anyway, this book is a psychological thriller that's kind of the mood that we were in at the time. And this book actually isn't released yet in the US, so you may have, if you're interested in it, you may have to find it on Book Depository. That's what I did. And that's okay because I'm kind of obsessed with Book Depository. So this is about a girl named Zoe Walker who finds her photo in the classified section of the newspaper. She has no idea why her photo's in there, but all that's there is, I guess, a website and a phone number. I've heard this is a cyber stalking slash real life stalking crime thriller, which sounds perfect leading up to October and kind of the spooky months. So yeah, it sounds really creepy and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll keep you guys posted on how I like it. Okay, my camera just died, so if the lighting is weird, that's why. But anyway, I'm also reading in September the first 4 books in a series of unfortunate events by Lemony Snicket. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm buddy reading these with Autumn Marie at Books and a Cat. Autumn is so fun and I love her videos. We bonded on Twitter over Gilmore Girls and books, so what more can you ask? But anyway, we talked a couple months ago about reading all 13 books in the series and how fun it would be to read them in September and October, kind of the spooky months. And I think that there is a Netflix adaptation coming soon, like maybe even this month, so we kind of wanted to get that started sooner rather than later. If you didn't grow up reading these books, I figured I would just read the back of the first book so that you can kind of get a feel for the voice and the genius that is Lemony Snicket. Dear reader, I'm sorry to say that the book you are holding in your hands is extremely unpleasant. It tells an unhappy tale about 3 very unlucky children. Even though they are charming and clever, the Baudelaire, I don't know if that's how you say that, siblings lead lives filled with misery and woe. From the very first page of this book, when the children are at the beach and receive terrible news, continuing on through the entire story, disaster lurks at their heels. One might say they are magnets for misfortune. In this short book alone, the three youngsters encounter a greedy and repulsive villain, itchy clothing, a disastrous fire, a plot to steal their fortune, and cold porridge for breakfast. It is my sad duty to write down these unpleasant tales, but there's nothing stopping you from putting this book down at once and reading something happy if you prefer that sort of thing. With all due respect, Lemony Snicket. So that's great. The first book is called The Bad Beginning, the second book is The Reptile Room, the third is The Wide Window, and the fourth is The Miserable Mill. So we're reading the first four because, truthfully, I think we each only had the first four books, so hopefully we'll get the rest in the series and read them in October. We'll see what happens. I'm also going to be reading The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. Very excited about this one as well. I'm going to be listening to it on Audible, just like I did The Ocean at the End of the Lane, because I love his voice so much. All I really know about this one is that the main character is a boy who was raised by ghosts and other supernatural creatures in a graveyard because his parents were brutally murdered. They were murdered by the man named Jack, and I guess if he leaves the graveyard for any reason, he'll be a target by this same killer. That's all I know. That's literally all I know. But so many of you in the comments have said that I need to read this book, so I'm gonna listen to it and probably do the same thing if I love it and physically read it after. I'm also going to try to get to Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince this month, but honestly, I don't know if it's gonna make the cut. I hate to say that because it was on my TBR last month and I didn't get to it. I really, really do want to read this book, I promise, but I feel like it's okay to leave a little bit of space between them because, you know, most of you grew up waiting for the next Harry Potter book, and I didn't have that. I feel like that waiting experience is good for the soul a little bit for some readers. I don't know. Am I crazy? I think I'm a little bit crazy. So anyway, yeah, those are all the books that I plan to read in September. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully you'll see my weekend reading vlog come out soon, and yeah, I hope you have a great reading month. Talk to you soon. Bye!